Why did the Ancient One choose to pass the title of Sorcerer Supreme to a reckless troublemaker like Dr. Strange, instead of Baron Mordo? Mordo once had a flawless resume as a candidate. He was a senior mentor at Kamartash, mastering both magic and combat, with overwhelming power. More importantly, he was absolutely loyal, and strictly followed every rule. When Strange first arrived, trying to fix his broken hands, he looked like a complete beggar. After being turned away by the Ancient One, it was Mordo who convinced her to take him in, because Mordo saw the potential inside Strange. Years later, he's still on your doorstep. There's a strength to him. There may be dark days ahead. Perhaps Carmodage could use a man like Stranger. After Strange began learning magic, Mordo constantly guided him. From this alone, you can tell Mordo had strong vision and deep empathy. Now look at Strange. Before learning magic, he was an arrogant surgeon, full of ego and pride. But after a car accident, his hands were ruined. His original goal was never to protect Earth. It was simply to heal himself and return to his throne. As a godlike surgeon, I came here to heal my hands, not to fight in some mystical war. After arriving at Kamartash, he stole books from the library, secretly studying forbidden knowledge, reading the Book of Cagliostro behind everyone's back. He even recklessly used the Eye of Agamotto to manipulate time, which is strictly forbidden. Temporal manipulations can create branches in time unstable, dimensional openings, spatial paradoxes, time loops. Mordo and Strange stand on opposite ends. One worships rules like sacred law, the other treats taboos like toys. By all logic, the Ancient One should have stripped Strange of his powers, but instead, she kept watching him, even allowing his rule breaking, because she understood, obedient students can't save the world. Mordo has a fatal flaw. He is morally rigid. In his worldview, everything is black or white. There is no gray. Rules are absolute, and natural law can never be broken. He respected the Ancient One because he believed she was perfectly pure, but reality is never that clean. The Ancient One lived for centuries, battling forces across dimensions, to fight darkness and extend her life. To protect Earth, she secretly drew power from Dormammu's dark dimension. It was both sacrifice and a necessary evil. When Mordo learned the truth during the Hong Kong battle, his faith shattered instantly. He couldn't accept her reasons. In his eyes, she stopped being a savior and became a hypocrite. She wasn't who I thought she was. She taught us it was forbidden, while she drew on its power to steal centuries of life. That right there is why Mordo could never become Sorcerer Supreme. Someone who rejects gray areas cannot lead. If Mordo held that position when facing Dormammu, where breaking time rules was the only way to save Earth, he would likely stand there and let the world fall, because to him, preserving the purity of law matters more than saving lives. He believes in rules, not in life itself. That's why he can only be a great soldier, never a true leader. But in Strange, the Ancient One saw something else. The answer was hidden in his past. Strange was a doctor before Kamartash. Yes, he was arrogant, but he had one rule. He never killed. He only saved lives. At the beginning, he refused to give up on a brain-dead patient. Later, when he killed someone for the first time, he was shaken to his core, even shouting at the Ancient One, "When I became a doctor, I swore an oath to do no harm, and I have just killed a man. I'm not doing that again. I became a doctor to save lives, not take them." What she valued was his pragmatism, the willingness to break rules for the right outcome, and his deep respect for life. Because in surgery, when a life is at risk, no doctor follows the textbook, step by step. They do whatever it takes to save the patient. And Strange is exactly that kind of person. Rules don't matter if breaking them saves lives. In the final Hong Kong battle, the gap between him and Mordo becomes undeniable. When Dormammu arrives and darkness consumes the city, Mordo says in despair, "It's too late, nothing can stop you." But Strange, without hesitation, activates the Eye of Agamotto, reversing time, giving everyone another chance. In his mind, Earth is the patient, and the Eye is his scalpel. Strange has what Mordo never will: moral flexibility. He's willing to get his hands dirty to save humanity, even if it means breaking rules. Dr. Strange too shows the same trait, using dark magic and dream walking. The most critical moment comes when the Ancient One confirms him as her successor. On the hospital balcony, where he once worked, her body is gone, but her spirit remains. In a frozen moment of time, she speaks with him one last time. Strange is still afraid, saying he's not ready, even questioning her for using dark power. "I never saw your future, only its possibilities. You have such a capacity for goodness. You always excelled, but not because you crave success, but because of your fear of failure. Arrogance and fear still keep you from learning the simplest and most significant lesson of all. "It's not about you." Those words are the soul of the entire story, and the reason she chose him. She knew, in a universe full of monsters, angels don't win. You need someone willing to wear the face of a devil, but still hold on to compassion. Strange's arrogance came from caring too much about himself. He became a doctor to prove his brilliance. He learned magic to fix his hands, but she saw deeper. He wasn't driven by success, but by fear of failure. The message is simple. If he only wanted to heal, he could walk away and live a perfect life, but Earth would lose a protector. He had to choose himself or the world. After that conversation, he finally transforms, understanding that being Sorcerer Supreme is not an honor, but a burden, a sacrifice, and that is something Mordo could never do. If her final words were the theory test, then facing Dormammu was the ultimate exam. Strange traps both of them inside an endless time loop. I've come to bargain. The film doesn't show it all, but he likely died countless brutal deaths. Remember her words, "It's not about you," and this was his perfect answer. He let go of his pride, his future, and turned himself into a shield, a prisoner, trapped in endless death. This is the successor she wanted. If it were Mordo, he would charge in, die instantly, and be remembered with honor. But Strange faces the abyss, breaks every rule, for the greater good, whether in Infinity War, giving up the Time Stone to save Tony, or in Endgame, holding the Flood. It's all the same mindset. In the end, Dormammu wasn't defeated by magic, but by Strange's relentless sacrifice. Driven to madness, Earth was saved, but Mordo walked away. Before leaving, he said, "You still think there will be no consequences, Strange? We broke our rules, just like her." The bill comes. From his perspective, he wasn't wrong. As Doctor Strange 2 shows, abusing magic does bring catastrophe. But here's the truth. Without breaking the rules back then, Earth would have already been gone. Mordo's morality is too fragile. One crack, and it shatters, pushing him into darkness. In the post-credit scene, he begins hunting sorcerers, but Strange, after seeing all the darkness, still stands there, wearing the cloak, watching over an imperfect world. That is a true Sorcerer Supreme, and that's why, in Endgame, when Hulk tells the Ancient One that Strange gave up the Time Stone, her attitude changes instantly, because she finally knew he made the right choice.